So this is JT Lucid.
Straight Edge Hitman.
I feel like the camera's a little off, you know.
A little bit.
Bring it down a little.
A little bit, yeah. We're not so close.
Bring the house down. There we go.
There we go.
It's a little better. That's
Good
better.
stuff.
Alright. What's up, guys? Let's do that over. JT Lucid.
Straight Edge Hitman.
It's been a minute.
Been too damn long since either one of us did a video.
We've been collecting ideas, collecting memories, doing some things, trying to get everything in line.
It's the summertime. I mean,
Summer.
like we've been just having fun this whole summer. I feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on.
It stems from Raw being terrible.
It did. It did. Like once.
It wasn't worth covering Raw, and we wanted to do other stuff, but it kind of dies down when there's so many things going on during the summer. And
I think it all stemmed from after the NBA playoffs were over. We were just Raw's terrible.
Raw was so bad. It's still not very good, but it's at least a little better.
And then there was a little disconnect because we all had kind of a little bit of stuff going on for a little while. I think 2 or 3 weeks. And then there was a lot of stuff that we wish we could have documented for you guys.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. Like the Ring of Honor show that we went to. That was just awesome. I loved it. It was great. And it's always better when you have more people
Oh yeah.
With. I think 4 people for that show was perfect.
Yeah. It was simplistic yet opportunistic. How about that?
There we go.
But basically, now we've got the capabilities to bring better stuff to the table. A better means of function.
Better product.
Better car. We got everything right now.
Better car, yeah.
Yeah, we got a new camera. And we've already recorded some stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a project that I'm working on right now, which I think a lot of you will be interested in. If you want to just tell them what I'm talking about here and what we were able to do.
So, we went to the Ring of Honor show. There were little flyers on the seats of a local indie promotion that was offering training for anybody. So I looked at it oh wow, okay, that's a goal of mine. That's a dream, I guess. Check off.
Where the camera is. So
it's weird. I'm on the left.
I think it's backwards right now, but then it recorrects.
Oh, okay. So yeah, got a hold of the company and went up to train in St. Louis. This guy went with me. And I think the camera thing, that was perfect timing. You got it a day or 2 before.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a little bit of time to play around with it and get everything right for the trip. Went up there. It was awesome, but man, I kind of felt dejected a little bit. I got hurt. Which I mean, that's the territory of it, but it was pretty bad. The next day it was terrible. There were parts of it, actual training, that I don't really remember. I got knocked out. Got concussion.
He drove me home, so.
And I drove this dude home. So.
You'll get a deeper story, in length, when we do that whole reveal for you guys. I couldn't get any actual training video because I didn't want to put them in a bad situation where they felt like they couldn't do everything that they wanted to do, because you don't want to be filmed when you're inside of a training room.
Oh yeah.
Especially with guys that are established at some point.
That was my first day ever training ever, and these guys, all of them I think had at least been doing it 6 months or a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holy
And all
shit.
were much older as well.
And they were all like a lot older too. So, well, not a lot, but maybe what, 4 or 5 years.
What's his name was like 5 years older. He was 25 or 26, 27, one of
Yeah.
the three. I don't know.
Well, but I mean, like I said, it was a great opportunity to do something that I'd never done in my life, that I've always kind of wondered about, and like actually getting into the wrestling ring and like going through the ropes and doing all like it was just like wow, like eye opening. It's great, and like just hearing their side of the business and like what they do and everything, it really opens your eyes. So like the next time I watched Raw or something, like it was I was watching it with a different perspective. Like it's just completely different now, but at the same time, it still feels the same. Like that was the purpose. Like it texted you, like he texted the next day, like, "You good, dude?" I was like, yeah, just kind of like watching WrestleMania, 17 now."
Yeah.
And like that was that whole day after. Like I was just sitting in my room watching wrestling. Had the worst headache in the world, but like
Did you really?
yeah. Well, not all day, but like for the most part.
Did you go to the doctor?
No.
Did you self-diagnose a concussion?
Yes. I figured like
It doesn't count.
once my hands went numb, I was like, that's it. That's concussion. Like, dude, that sucked. Stayed at home, watched a little wrestling, and like I said, like I was just watching it in a different perspective, but at the same time, it was like, wow.
So we won't give away too much right now, but in the middle of the training, an indie champion walked in, and it was pretty cool to meet him. You'll find out who that is when we talked about it on our video.
So unexpected.
I actually went home and kind of checked out some of his other work to see, because I mean I didn't know he was a champion.
Yeah.
In that promotion that he's the champion in, so I checked out some of his stuff, and you look at like stuff he's done, and then you go and you recycle back to talking to him, and you're like, wow, he's been there, done that.
Such a huge difference.
He's
too.
actually he put in a Tough Enough video as well.
Really?
I saw it.
Wow.
And a lot of people thought he probably should have gotten in.
I think he should have.
He
Just
fits the bill.
Just knowing his character.
Yeah. The
knowing,
character fits.
Like his knowledge of the business to me was like really underrated. Because when I saw him the first time at the Ring of Honor show, I was just like, like that's cool. He's intense, but like
He seems one-dimensional, right?
He seemed one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And then I meet him and I'm talking to him about just the business and like.
Yeah. And it's hard not to be in a 3-man tag in like a throwaway match.
A dark match, basically.
That's what it was.
That's what it was, yeah. So.
Dark match, 3-man tag.
Well, I guess 6-man.
Or sorry, 3 versus 3.
3 on 3.
Yeah.
But dude, like this guy, he's got it all put together. I mean, he's worked in Japan.
Yeah, well, I'll stop there. I won't give it away.
Yeah.
But he, like I told you at the time, I was like, that dude's pretty cool. I was cheering for the bad guys because he was in the match. And I liked his character the best.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of marked out seeing Matt Settle's brother at that show. So I was like, that guy, cheering for him.
Yeah, see, I was hooked, and he scared me a little. I was like, all right, this is a little intense. He's sounding intense. But he's like, I haven't seen at a live show, so.
Well, we were like right next to the entrance.
Man, so. He was like, I don't want to hit the camera, but he was like hitting the freaking things and kicking people, and oh my gosh, he was mad.
It was awesome.
Because they got the L, and he was like slapping his partner up,
Yeah, dude.
You suck. But we'll tell you about that later on. We got to meet some other wrestlers from the local promotion. Some cool guys. The head of the promotion was there as well.
Yeah, he seemed like a pretty chill dude.
Yeah, he seemed like the type of dude that has done this so long that it's like he's seen so many people come in and out of that door
Oh
that he's like, all right, well, I'll see if I need to know your name in a year. You know?
yeah. Yeah.
It's like, do your thing, see what's happening. But it was a cool trip. And so, our next, I guess, it's not, official yet, but hopefully we can make it happen. Another ROH trip up to the Chicago town.
And I mean, this time we'll have the GoPro, and we'll be good to go, man. Like,
We get to go proud. Get to go proud. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm excited because that'll be fun.
oh, dude, anytime, any ROH show is gonna be fun. I feel like, and now with like Austin Aries there, like, I'm just excited for it, dude. Like, and they always put on a good show in Chicago.
I'd be just excited to walk around Chicago with the GoPro and
Yeah, dude.
get into all kinds of hijinks and whatever we do.
Chicago, just being in Chicago is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I've never been to Chicago without like
Documentation, like.
well
footage.
no like being with like parents or something like so
Oh.
I wasn't like
Yeah.
just free to do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
So that'll be a first.
That'll be what next? Oh, it'll be September 12th. So we got a month.
Far away. Holy crap.
Yeah, like it seemed so far away when we first looked into it. We were like, oh, dude, that's fine. That's like 3 months in advance. Like, we're good.
How do you think it'll sell out soon?
Surely not. Frontier Fieldhouse, like I think it's sold out when Punk had his last match. But I mean, it's such a big venue. Not very many people go to it, but it's
Cool.
still a great show. So we should order a ticket still,
Sounds better.
just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. Get those $20 ones again.
Oh, dude. There's a lot of funny
That's
stories
expensive.
though from that, from going up there for that show in St. Louis, the Ring of Honor show. There's a ton of funny stories. Like,
Like 3?
well, like the one that comes to mind that's like probably the funniest is like Mike at the Moose table. Like you and Rajan, I think, were like just chilling over by our seats. Like
In the wrong seats, by the way.
in the wrong seats, yeah, that's right. And me and Mike are getting our picture taken with Moose. We just got the autographs, you know. And like I'm like, all right, go in there, get a picture, dude. And he's just like standing like with one hand on the table, like. Eh.
Yeah, and Moose is like,
No. Like Moose doesn't even. He's no selling him being standing. On
oh,
the table
okay,
for a
yeah.
picture. He's just sitting there. Like,
Initially.
Moose just like looking around, like.
Yeah.
And Mike's just sitting there like, hey, take this picture, dude. What the fuck you doing? And I literally had to say like, Moose, this guy wants to take a picture with you, and he's like, oh shit,
So
oh,
why you say it like
okay.
that? Because I'm
Well,
black.
he just does like the and Mike's
He's
just like,
going crazy. Yeah.
it was a perfect picture. It was great. It was a perfect picture.
And then he put up the muscles with you, and then Mike's like,
And Mike was just like this, and I'm like thinking he already took the picture, and I'm like, did you take the picture?
by the time the picture was taken, Moose got so bored, he just.
Yeah,
Just
so like
chilling there.
it's the worst picture. Mine was the worst picture because I'm like looking
It
at
was.
Mike like, did you take the picture?
You're
Like,
like
that's my face.
ticked off.
Like what the fuck? And then Moose is just like, like dead. And then
Dead Moose.
Michael Elgin, that was great. That was probably the funniest thing ever. That was the first person to get in line for the Michael Elgin signing, and like I got the 8x10. I'm walking up to get it signed, and he just like spits chew into a Mountain Dew bottle. That's the first thing. He's just like, and then he's like, oh hey, how you doing? It's like, oh shit, good.
Break your hand.
I thought he was going to when he got up because like he was excited. Somebody was at his table, so he was like, oh hey. But like the fact that he just like spit like right in my face.
30 seconds. They're not 30, 2 seconds. That's fine.
Yeah, he was really cool though. Like he was like, hey, you guys just enjoy the show and have a good time, whatever. It's like that's because most wrestlers aren't like that. Moose wasn't like that.
No, Moose was there for the money.
For sure,
He
you could
wanted
tell.
He wanted to get some payday.
I felt so bad for Cheeseburger. He was like the lonely Virgil of that show.
Chilling. It was like Cheeseburger with his little cheeseburger hat, and Moose is over here just like flexing, just talking to everybody, and Cheeseburger.
Well, like
Oh,
they kind of fucked him up.
you.
They really did. They screwed him over. They screwed Cheeseburger.
I didn't see anybody go to his table.
Because he was on the same table as Moose. And like you put a gigantic guy like Moose next to tiny Cheeseburger.
And he disappears.
Yeah. Like it was so bad that they put on that little advertisement thing. Like if you bought a Cheeseburger T-shirt, you could get it signed free.
Mm-hmm.
And still nobody was at his table. I felt so bad.
And they said you could wear his hat to for the picture.
Taven and Bennett, they were really cool. I wish I would have known that like those two, and Seidel were gonna be doing signings. Like that was unexpected.
Uh-huh.
But man, like I always thought Matt Taven was really good, and then see him at the show, and he's
Now Tori Wilson.
like, well, he's just like charismatic. He's good in the ring. He's great in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely got to keep our eye on.
God, I'm tired.
Damn, what else has happened in like the last couple months? Well, they had Best in the World. And,
That was good. That was, dude, I forget which ROH it was, but Japan.
Oh
and
yeah,
ROH tore the house
the
down.
Global Wars and War of the Worlds.
I mean, just one of the ROH TV shows with both of them was awesome. I can't remember which one it was, but it was AJ and the Bucks against
Oh, Okada.
Okada.
RPG Vice.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, that whole show was top notch.
I gotta order those, dude, because there was like 4 nights, and we only ordered the one, and we watched it, and it was great. Oh, it was the one where Okada and Cedric, they were having their match, and the lights went out.
They were having some technical difficulties.
Oh man. Like I felt bad for ROH but at the same time I was like kind of like I was laughing
It was
hysterically. Like it was just like the lights go out. I think the crowd started chanting like "Holy shit" or something. Like it was great.
Did you see all the botches at TNA's Slammiversary?
Mm-mm.
It was embarrassing.
This year?
Bad. I mean, bad.
I'll have to check it out. Like when we get done with the video.
Dude, Botchamania, Slammiversary. I'm assuming it was this year. It looked like everybody was this year. And it was, oh my god. I mean, botch after botch after botch.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody really gives a shit about the company anymore. Like even the wrestlers don't
Yeah.
give a shit about the company.
Except for like a chosen few, and they really care about the company.
Like EC3 because they
Hey,
made him
dude.
champion.
Him, Velvet Sky
Eric Young's brother.
is killing people. Yeah.
Abyss maybe. Nah, maybe not.
It's those three that are just chilling people out on Twitter for any negativity towards TNA. Like,
Velvet Sky, like she's fucking
ruthless.
she's hot. She's ruthless, but she's hot.
Ruthless.
But let's see. Well, I mean, TNA, like I haven't given a shit about TNA in like
I've never watched it.
2-3 years. I remember like when I was a kid, I used to like it because it came on, and maybe it didn't come on at that exact time. Maybe it was a replay, but like I remember it was on like Fox Sports Midwest. Like when I got out of school.
Really?
Yeah, when I got out of school. I can't remember what day it was. It was like Wednesday or Thursday. So like I'd get home from school and like throw it on. And it was cool because they had like the 6-sided ring, all these guys that I'd never heard of. Like at the time, like I'd never heard of AJ Styles or Samoa Joe until I started watching it. And then like I liked it. It was good. But like I never went as far as like ordering pay-per-views or anything like that with TNA. Like I don't really remember ever seeing Sting or Jeff Hardy there either. So it must have been like a really weird time in TNA history.
How do you feel about six-sided ring nowadays? I hate it. Because it feels
Yeah,
like a big gimmick match every
it
single
does.
time they're in the ring.
It does. It feels like a gimmick thing. And I mean that's basically the point of it from the beginning. It was just like let's be completely different.
Something
But
that,
like
yeah.
it did feel too gimmicky.
It's just not. Like, it's not.
It's like when what was it? WCW was putting on like the what was it World War III? Like let's have a battle, let's have a over the top rope battle royal that's not like the Royal Rumble. So let's
Mhm.
put 3 rings in one arena. Or, you know, like making no sense.
Yeah. Or like when they try to make up these weird gimmick matches that are really just the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it the? It was some match that Raven came up with. It was just a hardcore match.
Yeah. It's either a hardcore match or some kind of weird Hell in a Cell. Like,
Yeah.
it's always the same thing.
Hmm.
They twist it a little bit, but
But like TNA was just I don't know. Like I thought it was. I remember a couple of years ago I got into it because of like the what was going on.
X Division,
No, um,
Tag Division.
their tag team division was pretty good when I was watching it because they still had Daniels and Kazarian. They didn't have the Wolves yet, but it was the Aces and Eights thing. That was really cool to me. But I was kind of watching it like, man, like this team's just like Shield meets NWO. Like, so I was like, it's cool and it's awesome, but like, I don't really know what it was that drew me away from it. I think it was like, this is Sting and Bully Ray thing.
Bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It was
Like
just
the
like
end of Sting's run in TNA
it was terrible. But like I think that was like the beginning of it. So I remember like the whole Hogan thing, his daughter being on the television program. Uh, there was just so many things that
They
were
tried
going
to
wrong.
so hard. So WWE did too, but TNA pushed them. The Jersey Shore ripoff people.
Yeah,
It's like Jersey Shore is so unique. They caught lightning in a bottle, and nobody's ever going to create what they did.
mm-mm.
And people have tried so hard to do just that, and it's not going to happen.
Like Robbie E.
Yeah, they even brought in like 3 people. Like Ronnie from the show was there, JWoww was there,
Oh yeah,
and Sammy
Ronnie.
was there. All 3 of them were in TNA as active like roster people for like a couple months. And Ronnie, as big as he is, was so short and he was so small in that ring. And Snooki actually did well in her Raw time, and WrestleMania she did a decent job because she's a gymnast, so you know, it's easy to look good in a ring when you can flip.
Yeah.
That's your go-to. If you're able to do some kind of a cartwheel or a flip, just do it. You don't even have to have a purpose behind it. Just do it, and you'll get a pop.
Let's see. Like I remember Rajon showing me that ladder match with like that was the first time I'd seen a TNA in like probably over a year at that point. That was earlier this year, I think. It's like Bully Ray and Devon, the Hardys, and the Wolves.
Yeah. They had a
that was pretty good.
What's it called? It wasn't the best of 7, but it was like a whole series of matches between the 3. So yeah, they had the best tag team division in the world for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Because they, who knew? Dudleys and Hardys.
Yeah, like know? 15 years
and
later.
And then you add the Wolves. I mean.
And I always felt like, and I know like me and you have talked about it because like when Kevin got signed, he told me about it. He's like, no. It's like, what? That's bad. That's terrible. I know what they're gonna do with him. And then so now knowing that experience and then looking back to like when the Wolves became free agents, and I was like, dude, WWE needs these guys because their tag team division sucks. But now thinking about it with the experience cap on, like, dude, who knows, man? The Wolves could have been terrible in WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, it could have been a huge addition because both guys are really solid as singles wrestlers. So,
What's your progress report on Kevin Owens?
as in
What are you
him or
feeling right now?
WWE? Oh,
Everything.
I think he's doing good. He's cutting really good promos. He's doing pretty damn good in the ring. I feel like WWE just doesn't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Their problem right now is that they don't trust really anybody, and they should.
Nothing new.
Like, these guys have been wrestling for years. They know what they're doing. Like, especially Owens. And like, why would you not trust him to? Like, you don't have to trust him to carry the company. You just have to trust him to be in the main event and get people to buy into it. And people obviously bought into Kevin Owens when he got there because that whole month, like on YouTube, if you search Kevin Owens, you'd see people like buying T-shirts or buying this or that Kevin Owens merchandise. Or
He's big.
it's
Still
huge.
is,
He still is. He's lost his thing because of Cena, but like just the simple fact that like they feel like because Kevin Owens got that big in that short amount of a time that he would automatically get a world title shot. That's so stupid. And I think that's why they ended up having Cena go over, because honestly, for the first time, I'm going to say WWE was looking in the future. They looked at SummerSlam and they're like, well, if we do this with Brock and Taker, what does that leave for Seth, who's our champion? Well, we don't want to give him Owens because it's too soon. We don't have enough trust in him. Oh, let's have Cena beat him twice. Cena gets him. Because he's the only guy we trust.
For all the hoopla about Cena and how good of a job he's done this year, how many losses has he taken in the last calendar year? Probably 3.
Yeah, 3.
How many clean ones?
1. And it was to Kevin.
But then he completely erased that by
Beating him.
mocking him on the mic, saying he doesn't deserve to be champion, and then beating him twice in a row. That's not clean. When you erase a guy's win with 2 straight dominating, finishes,
And here's the
and
thing.
a tap out to boot.
And that's another solid point to bring up. Like, that's how
Not to
you
mention
know.
beating Seth.
That's how you know they really don't trust Kevin. They put that finish where he's tapping out. Like, anytime somebody taps out clean like that, dude, that's
He tapped out Owens and Seth Rollins in back-to-back weeks.
they don't know. Like, that's just terrible. So like they made Kevin with the tap out finish, and then the next night on Raw, he's one of those meaningless people breaking up Taker and Brock.
Yeah.
That's how you know that they don't trust him. Like,
so how many clean wins does Cena have in the last year?
0.
Balanced out to 0.
It's like, man, like I don't know what to
Clean
think of him.
loss.
I don't know what to think of him right now. Like, obviously it's the company that I love. I'm always gonna love WWE. But man, like it just irritates me. Like, you get probably the greatest thing that you could have in the last decade, and you basically just made him meaningless. Like, and I'm not one to say, like, oh, Kevin Owens is the next Steve Austin or this and that, but, like, Kevin Owens could have been something huge. You know what I mean? Like, he could have been the guy to carry the company. Him, and there's a few others, like Balor. Another thing is like Joe, like they don't give a shit about Joe.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have a big impact on the main roster.
No, Joe. I don't even know what Joe's gonna do. Like it's
He's what, like 37 now?
yeah.
He's about the same as it.
He's about to. He's probably gonna just like chill behind the scenes before too long, and then do like indie shows like he's doing now. Which sucks. I mean, I wish all of this would have happened years ago. Like, think about this for a minute. Like, think if in 2012, like early 2012, NXT comes in,
All these guys start funneling in.
and then like Owens, Joe, and all these guys come in with CM Punk as the main guy. Well, not the main guy, but the champion at least.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, there you go. They would have actually probably had a somewhat of a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Punk and Bryan, they've had like such a huge impact, and like they've kind of made that seem irrelevant because it's after that fact that these guys come in, or these guys make a name for themselves. Like, had Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe and Finn Balor been there during Bryan's WrestleMania run, good God, like they might have actually had a lot more trust in them. Well, they don't have. It's not that they don't have trust in Balor. Like he's the next guy, but
We'll see.
I'm just hoping that like the stories are true about Vince. Like with getting the network numbers up and then selling out Jerry Lynn and then retiring on that note.
Selling to Jerry?
No, selling out Jerry.
Oh,
World.
selling out
selling
Jerry
out
World.
Jerry World. Yeah. Like
I thought you meant like selling to him.
Oh no, dude, Jerry Jones
He'd
running
probably-
WWE. He'd be
he could
like
do
at
it,
ringside. He'd be at ringside every night.
Oh yeah,
Just
booking
like he
every
is.
match.
Yeah, just like he is Cowboys.
Maybe Mark Cuban likes wrestling. No, he actually seems like the type that would appreciate the business, but stay far away from it. Well, I mean, there's rumors that now he sees money in Cesaro, so he's gonna push him.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Like the last month has been amazing for Cesaro.
Bad news for Kevin Owens fans because they're feuding right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's gonna be fun.
That's gonna be yeah. It's gonna be such a good one.
That's the thing is I don't mind somebody losing a feud. Like you have to lose in this business to win.
Yeah.
You know? You can't build stars without everybody losing at some point.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, I was a Cena fan when I was really young, but it wasn't him winning.
Of course.
It was I related to him because I was a hip hop fan, and I was white and trying to fit in this category of like I'm not this stereotypical guy. I was more closely related to like the guy he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing about him. I didn't like him because he won. You know, I didn't like Eddie because Eddie cheated and lost a lot of matches.
Dude.
You know, Eddie was not a perennial winner, but he was my favorite wrestler from the second I started watching to the day he died. So, like, it had nothing to do with winning. Rey Mysterio lost all the time. He was one of my favorite guys. He never even won a major championship until it didn't matter. You know?
RVD.
Yeah, RVD, that's your guy. He's a perennial loser in WWE, you know? I mean...
Well, actually, you know, RVD is one of the weird ones. Like, he, at points in his career, he was like a perennial loser. Especially like the last few years that he's come back. He's been a loser. But like early on in WWE and then like this run or that run, he was like looked very strong.
Uh-huh.
But like that's the same with Eddie and Ray.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, you don't have to win all the time. That's what makes people pissed off. Like,
Yeah.
like
people like guys that just can't seem to finish the deal until they finally do, you know.
And that's what makes that moment so special.
Yeah, it's the
like,
Benoit, it's the Edge
the
finally
Daniel
getting
Bryan.
his moment. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Eddie hugging his mom after beating Brock after interference from Goldberg, you know.
Dude, like it's just a weird scenario. Like we'll never. And I read an interesting article too. Like John Cena becoming literally the Hulk Hogan because his whole career has been patented after Hulk
How
Hogan.
great would it be to find out he's racist?
But then like, oh yeah,
Get him out of here.
right. But no,
Do you
like
think
just
they'd fire him, or do they think they'd cover up the
they
evidence?
cover it up.
I think they
for
would
sure.
too.
But the whole thing is like the whole article was about like this is his time to turn heel now, which we've all been saying for like the last 10 years. But I started to think about it, and I was like, yeah, it would be awesome if Cena turned heel. It would be great. All of us, even people who hate Cena, like me,
Yeah.
would
Oh, I'd
think
hear that.
would be like, holy shit, that's cool because he's a heel
Different.
now. He's bad. But when you look at it, wrestling is so like has broken so much kayfabe that like if he becomes heel, he literally becomes a heel at life.
Yeah, because his fans believe he's him.
No, not just that. Like all of the Make-A-Wish stuff that he's promoted on and does, and all the people, like all of the Make-A-Wish kids, every single one of them has some kind of Cena gear.
They'll turn on.
So like if he becomes heel, he just ruined their life. And like those are just like regular kids, you know what I mean? Like that have, you know, these are kids that are like wondering if like they're gonna be alive in like a few months or something. So like, dude, that's pretty rough. Like,
Say turn.
Yeah, I mean,
well, okay, this is why I say turn. I don't give a crap about his character. I wouldn't even care about the storyline, really.
yeah.
But if he's booked as a heel, he's not gonna just keep winning clean over and over and over and over and over. Heels lose a lot, you know. And when they win dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So I just know it'd be guaranteed L's. That's the only reason I don't want to see one guy dominating the entire freaking show.
Yeah.
Which I didn't put it on here because we weren't making videos, but I've been saying for like the last 2 months. I'm getting nervous. This whole Cena thing, it seems like
you have been.
They're just waiting to push him because I knew they wouldn't trust anybody else. I said, who do they trust in the main event scene? The Shield members, pretty much, and then Cena. Now they're not gonna push Roman because they don't want to push him too quick. Dean, loser, keeps losing. Cena, here he comes.
That's an interesting point. I watched the Stone Cold podcast with Triple H for the first time like a couple nights ago, which, shoot me, good God, I haven't seen the Stone Cold podcast with Triple H, but like, really good point was brought up, and I'm glad you brought up that, that they don't want to push Roman too soon, even though they already did.
They tried.
Do you think that, they will start pushing Roman and then maybe back off of Cena? And do you think that, like, that initial push, like, they should have just continued with? Like, maybe not him being world champion that soon.
Yeah.
But do you think they should have just continued that push? Because when you think about it, like, even if he's getting booed, he's way better than Cena.
Yeah.
Like, his mic skills aren't that good. But he's starting to come around now.
I'll tell you that it all fell apart when he hurt his groin. Or his hernia surgery, whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
And he was popping. People liked Roman Reigns. Yeah. People were very high on him. I think it stemmed from he wasn't getting the respect that Rollins and Ambrose were getting, and he probably shouldn't have because he wasn't as good in the ring. But he was the guy nobody knew much about in the Shield, but they knew they liked how he looked and how he carried himself. And then when you're not on TV, people lose interest.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're not on TV and you're still the top news story every single week because everybody's starting to find out, well, they're pushing this guy. He's getting the rocket. So you're not performing on TV, so you're irrelevant right now. And you're looking on dirt sheets and it says Roman's top guy. You're going, wait a second. What's going on here? I don't like this. I was a fan of this guy, but now I'm not starting to. So like the second he came back, all those cheers were gone. So he went from, it's hard to go from cheers to boos when you're there every week because, you can only, I guess, get boring. But, like, it turned immediately.
Well, I mean, like certain territories are different though. Like
Of course.
certain
But he
territories.
gets booed in Miami, you know?
Well, yeah, okay. But like I just don't know. Like you did bring up a good point about the injury, like that how that really did hurt him, no pun intended. But that I do think that that is kind of where it stemmed from too, because at the time he was feuding with Orton, he beat Orton, now he's gone. Like
Yeah, good SummerSlam match.
like what?
It was just really unfortunate that he just got hurt at the wrong time.
And it
Because he
Stone
was
Cold
building steam.
Stone Cold brought up a really good point too. Like the '96 King of the Ring, Triple H was supposed to go over. He was supposed to be the King of the Ring, and then they had that curtain call, and Triple H took all of the punishment for it. So Steve Austin wins the King of the Ring, and a lot of people at the time were like, "The Ringmaster? What the fuck?"
Was that the one,
And then that where he cut the
promo on
yeah. Jake.
Jake?
Yeah,
Austin 316 says,
but I mean, it's so. I think it's really hard for them to really push somebody without people knowing about it, and that's where the whole thing stems from. I think it's like, yeah, Cena. Like we're never gonna like really agree with anything like booking wise that they do with Cena, but like when it comes to somebody else taking his spot, or at least being in the main event scene, like if we didn't know about it and if it wasn't so prominent and like the dirt sheets weren't the first thing we see when we even search anything wrestling related,
yeah.
then I think we wouldn't really have a problem with it at all. Like nowadays it's like it's not the wrestling that's fake, it's the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
like
no,
when we were kids, like
it's
we were
harder
told,
than
oh,
ever to book.
well, like when we were kids, we were told, oh, why are you watching wrestling? Because it's fake. Well, now it's like we're looking at it like, oh, this show's fake as shit because I really know what's going
Yeah,
on.
I
back
know
there.
what's gonna happen already.
Yeah. So like it's a weird thing. Like
That's why WrestleMania and Raw after are so great, because nothing gets out. They hold everything so close to the vest.
And
if you're surprised.
I think that's a good point to bring up to like any wrestling fan though too that's watching this is like how we do like WrestleMania or big events. Like I haven't looked at the dirt sheets in a few days now, but I think I'm just not gonna look at all until SummerSlam because I know SummerSlam's a big show. I know it's gonna be 4 hours long, but I don't really want to know what's going on as we get closer to it because it is like the biggest show other than Mania.
And it's one 4 hours now too.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Mania in the summer.
Yeah, and it's like one of my personal favorite shows. I always loved SummerSlam. So yeah, like I'm just not gonna look at anything dirt sheet related or anything like that. Just so like when I'm watching it, I'm not like already knowing what's gonna happen or knowing that Bray Wyatt has a foot injury before he wrestles some. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like stuff like that, because that got out before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That Bray sprained his ankle.
He's gonna walk in booth the day of the match.
Yeah. So like, just trying not to ruin it because I feel like that's what wrestling fans are doing nowadays. Like, they want to know stuff so much that they'll ruin what they're watching and ruin the moment for just to find out this little bit of information.
Yeah, we're in the era of, you see me looking at my phone, I'm looking up stuff, Twitter, making sure nobody went down with an injury, you know? I gotta make sure.
Right.
Like, we're in the area of information.
Right.
And, I mean, it's funny, because, like, I think Roman, I hope he talks to Batista every now and then, because they were in a very similar spot at one point.
Dude.
I mean, with the Shield, and then you got Batista and Orton at a young age. Everybody looked at Orton and said, "Oh, that's the guy." You know, everybody's looking at Seth Rollins going, "This is the best group in the company, and he's the best worker in the whole field."
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he must be the next big thing. And then all of a sudden, this big man named Batista is world heavyweight champion about a year and a half after, if that.
Hmm.
After that all breaks down.
Well, I think maybe not Batista so much, maybe Orton, because I remember
But he never got the main event push right away. He
he
got a
didn't get
nice
it.
push.
He got a nice push, but at the same time, they tried to make him a face, and that ruined it. And then he
Hmm.
became like the heel going into the Taker feud, and they took the title away from him because they're like, "Ooh, that's maybe that's not a good idea."
See, the reason why I go Batista is because back then people weren't in the know, so they
Hmm.
figured Orton was the next guy.
Well, Bob Orton being his
And
dad.
yeah, and Batista all of a sudden is the most popular guy over Orton
Hmm.
because everybody's like, nah, we like the big guy with the huge freaking muscles and the
Spiked up
ability
here.
to just slam the crap out of you. And so he got this same kind of praise that Roman was starting to get. Like, this dude looks good. I like what he represents. But we knew Roman was coming. They didn't know Batista was on the way, so Batista was fresh.
and
Roman all of a sudden got stale, and it's like, dude's only been here for like 2 years, and he's already stale.
and like and that's a good point to bring up too, because I feel like years from now, people are still gonna be knocking on Roman like they are now, and like I'm a Batista fan. I've always loved Batista. He was my guy. Like I wasn't a John Cena fan. I was a Batista fan, and I feel like that's who people were more related to at that point in time. They were the two biggest faces of the company, was Batista and Cena. So if you didn't like Cena, odds are you were a Batista fan, and if you didn't like Batista, you were probably a John Cena fan. But I've always loved Batista,
Yeah, Batista's
and
cool.
like people fucking like tear him down nowadays.
I
Like
don't get it
and I
at
don't get
all.
it at all. Like he was so good, and like for his size, for his like
6'7".
yeah, and like
He's Hulk size. Look what Hulk was doing. Look what Batista was doing.
and he doesn't even really have like an athletic background, does he? He's just like a
No, he
bodybuilder.
wasn't even a wrestler in high school or anything.
He's like a bodybuilder.
He was he his story was that he just started lifting and lifting and lifting and lifting and he loved it.
Yeah.
And beyond that he started wrestling at age 30.
Like
Started wrestling at age 30 and like never touched the mat before that.
me
That's
and
incredible.
me and Mike and you, we all agree like bodybuilder wrestlers are terrible. But he was the one guy that broke the mold.
Yeah.
Because
He's
he
natural
was a
athleticism.
bodybuilder and he had natural
I mean,
athleticism.
and you look at him and Cena's bodies; they're completely different.
Yeah.
Batista's built. You could see when he went into MMA and he slimmed down. He had a perfect triangle, torso.
Mhm.
Cena's like a square. He's built like a weight, like an anvil. You know, Batista's built like a freaking
God.
arrow.
Yeah. So like Roman, I feel like he need. The only thing is just, and it's so bland and unoriginal to say, because so many people I feel like have said it or thought it at least once. He needs to turn heel. Like heels get over so much quicker than faces nowadays, and with that look, with that attitude, that walk to the ring, that like his face, he's just a heel. He'd be such a cool heel that like he'd get over so quick as a heel. And that's part of the push is just getting over because they pushed the shit out of him while he was over and people were like, "Oh no, we don't want that."
They resisted.
Yeah. So like if you make him a heel and like and I don't want to get into it because I know we're going to do a video in probably like a week or two about SummerSlam, like the preview. But like there's a lot of stuff they could do with that with SummerSlam for Roman. There's just so much.
Well, it's gonna be a tag of some sort.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like
Okay.
there's a lot that they could do with it. But I mean, I'm not gonna get off the Roman wagon just yet. You know what I mean? Like I still like the dude. I mean, I'm not.
I mean, I'm tired of his booking.
Yeah.
and it's not that he's winning. Like he's not even actually getting that many pins lately. But like, there's nothing fascinating about him to me right now. I liked him because I like bigger guys that can bring the tough intensity type thing to the ring. Uh, I mean, obviously I love good workers, but if you've got the big, you don't even have to be really strong, but it helps. But if you got the intense look, he's got the the jaw of like frickin' what's his name, Bigfoot in the UFC.
Mhm.
I mean, he had the look and he had good enough ring skills for me to take an interest. And that's all it was. I was never a big Reigns fan. I was just like,
Yeah.
I like this guy. I've been like that with a lot of people, and it for some people like Kofi. I was big on Kofi when he first came in. Like that was a very highly touted guy for me. It never turned into fanmanship, but I liked him.
Yeah.
There's different guys that I like that I never say, yeah, I'm a fan of him. So I wouldn't even consider myself a fan of Roman Reigns. I just liked what he brought to the table, and I still do, and I think there's untapped potential there.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is like kind of like what I feel about Roman. Like I'm not like the biggest fan of his. Like I was always the biggest fan of like Dean and Seth, and like right now I can't even really say that about those two guys. Like
Yeah, Dean's boring in the ring, and Seth's boring on the mic.
yeah, and it's like
Seth doesn't look better in the ring right now because they're not giving him anything to work with.
well they gave him Neville and that was nice.
Yeah,
That was a good.
which by the way, how do you just put Neville back against Stardust after that?
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, are you serious?
You can't.
He just proved he's a main eventer.
Yeah.
Now, can he face the monsters of the world? Maybe not. But he's legit and
Yeah.
a top 3 worker in the entire company.
And how do you book that kind of finish? And how do you book him that strong?
Dude, I thought he won.
Dude,
I thought he won. He hit the red arrow.
Twice.
And he was like,
I'm
like, no! I knew he wasn't going to win, okay? But
I know.
But there was something. When he hit that red arrow, I said, oh my God. I thought he had it.
And like my dad, he's a fan of like Bad News Barrett and Neville. Like he doesn't really give a shit about anything else on the show.
Man, Bad News Barrett.
He likes Bad News Barrett for some reason. He loves the guy. He loves the guy.
JBL put Barrett in with like the all-time great British guys on Raw. He's like, yeah, all these
Dynamite
great,
Kid.
yeah, all these great British wrestlers, and he named off like all-time greats, and then Bad News Barrett, and none of them have ever become the WWE champion, and Neville could be the first. And so I'm like, it just don't sound right putting him with all those guys.
You can't just put Bad News Barrett in with like
it's just weird.
British Bulldog.
I know you're putting him over, but jeez.
There's putting him over, and then there's like
Dynamite's in a wheelchair going, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. But like yeah, like my dad is like the biggest fan of like Neville and Barrett, and to him it's still kayfabe, and to him it's still like kayfabe. So like he's like watching this, like it's not like super kayfabe or anything like that, but he despises Seth Rollins because of the character. So like it's really funny to like watch Raw with him. Like I always enjoy that more than anything because even in his old age, I'm like that was me 10 years ago.
Does he boo?
Like he doesn't. He's not like boo. No, not like dude. Not like
boo.
Yeah, but like he's just like I don't even know how to describe it. He just doesn't like Seth because of the character. He doesn't like Triple H because of the character. And then I tell him, I'm like, no, like Triple H is a really cool guy. Like you don't know him.
You don't know me like that.
You don't know him like that. But he's like watching the match, and like I think it was because of him that I was like, holy fuck, he just beat him. Like when he hit the red arrow. And I'm like telling you, my dad the whole time, like, oh yeah, they're gonna give Seth Neville, and he's like, but don't think too much of it. And then here I am, like, holy shit, like, oh dude, no way. But I just don't understand what they're gonna do with Stardust and Neville now, like that.
I don't like this. I skip all his promos. I watch if he's facing Neville, I'll watch like 3/4 of the match.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where, as much as I like him in the ring, I can't watch a full Neville Stardust match because it's just there's nothing to it. You know, I have no attachment
Interest.
either way because there's neither one of them is going anywhere. And Neville seems to be like the guy that they just use for Seth Rollins when they don't know what to do because this is the second time he's faced him. The second time he's almost beat him.
They need to just bring back Cody, dude. Like, it's gonna be hard to do it, but
It's too late now, I think.
yeah, it's way too late. Stardust character's already over.
It's cemented.
Not over, but yeah, cemented is the right word.
Kids like it.
Yeah. Like, Cody Rhodes, man, like, by himself. He's great in the ring. You could do a lot with him on the mic. Like, I don't know if he's a guy that can, like, control the mic by himself, but I remember the promo that he cut on his brother and Booker T back in the day. That was really good. Like, you're like, wow, like, you're building up something that could be, you know, really huge. Like, especially with Goldust. Like,
We never got Goldust Stardust.
we never got it.
Although he's not retired, he said he's gonna come back.
Like, my all-time thing for Cody Rhodes back in the day, because I was the biggest Cody Rhodes supporter. Like, I was a fan of Cody Rhodes. And, like, well, it was around the time, like, I started watching again. And Punk was the main guy on Raw. And SmackDown was just, like, kind of filler at the time. Like, Del Rio and Henry, Big Show. But I was always, like, a fan of Rhodes. And I was, like, thinking, like, dude, put him in a feud with Goldust for the IC title. Put him over. Put Cody, you know, in, like, a big scene. This is, like, 2011.
Okay.
Put him in the big scene. Give Randy the world title. Make Randy the heel. You know, after the Goldust feud, they shake hands. They become brothers. You know, maybe make Dusty in some way, shape, or form, like, involved in the last match with Goldust.
I'm starting
And
to
then
wonder how long we have with all these wrestling legends, with everybody just falling one by one.
I know, it's so sad.
Roddy shocked me. That hit me hard.
Oh, dude, that
I was
hit
just
me
watching
so
that dude
hard.
in Legends House like weekly, laughing at
Yeah,
his jokes.
it hit me like a ton
And
of bricks.
now it's like, wait, maybe he wasn't quite joking. Like, he was not in good physical shape.
Yeah.
He had a heart attack, but heart attacks stem from internal problems.
And, like,
They can be completely random, don't get me wrong, but that dude has said time and time again he's got a lot of problems going on with his body.
And, like, man, like, what hit me hardest was, like, knowing that he passed away, and then, like, watching, I think I watched Ring of Honor the next day, and, like, they had that commercial, that silent commercial with him and, like, the kids, and I'm like, dude, that,
Yeah, it's crazy. He was, what, 61?
Yeah. Like, it just
That's
hit me,
like 90 in wrestling years.
that just hit me right in the chest, man. Like, that sucked. And then, like, seeing, like, Assault and Batteries video when they went to WrestleMania, and, like, meeting Bobby the Brain Heenan and seeing the shape that he's in. I'm like, dude,
You wonder how much, I mean, they're going to start dropping like flies. Because this
sucks.
is the year, like, this decade, most wrestlers of all time are going to die. Because they're all getting in their 60s, and 60s are not a fun time for wrestlers.
No, not at all.
And it's sad because, like, Legends House, you thought it was kind of silly because, like, at the end they go, well, this is the last time we'll all be together. And you're going, what are you talking about? You know, you got years, you got, you can meet up together after this for a drink, and it's like, oh shit, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, forever. And that's just a weird feeling.
That sucks.
Especially because, like, I thought he was going to come back and do another season.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to that. And it's just weird. That's the best word I could. I mean, Dusty is like, he was behind the scenes, and he was looking his age.
Yeah. But, like, at the same time, like, Dusty, you could see that, like, within the next couple of years, probably he would pass. But, like, you just didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's such a cool guy. And such a inspiration.
Yeah.
And like,
I'm surprised Paige was able to hold it together on the
yeah,
podcast.
like everybody, like
This was
just anybody who ever like came into contact with Dusty, like loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if NWA back in the day was bigger than what it was, like Dusty would have been even more
Yeah.
over
He might be the greatest wrestling mind
of all
of
time.
all time.
Yeah. And it's such a shame because, like I was saying with Cody, like, if you do that with Cody, and that's why I looked at it and then I took a step back, like me building up this thing for Cody Rhodes, and then I had to take a step back and like, wait a minute, he's a Rhodes, they're never gonna do that with him. Like, and you know, a couple years later they did with him and Goldust winning the tag titles, and you know, Dusty being there, and like that's so hard to watch now. That you can't even watch it anymore. Like I tried the other day, I was like, man, I can't watch this. Like that's just too much emotion. But like, think about that. Like, Cody Rhodes, like he could be a huge star right now if they would have just settled the differences, you know, the McMahons and the Rhodes. And I don't even know if it was like they really hated each other or anything like that, because obviously they all three still worked for him.
Yeah.
But man, like, think about like the stories that you could do with Cody as Cody, like putting him against Orton for a world title. You know, the thing with Legacy back in the day, and like now McMahon, like that's very similar to Randy and Triple H. You know what I mean? So like, they just dropped the ball terribly with Cody.
Mm-hmm. I just keep wondering who's next.
Yeah, it's hard not to at this point in the game.
And it's like for every 60-year-old that passes, there's a guy in his early 40s that's gonna go too.
Yeah, and like, I don't even want to think about it, but like 20 years from now, like The Rock, Stone Cold.
I think The Rock's career was short enough where he'll hold it off. Stone Cold, I'd be worried about.
Yeah, dude.
He keeps himself in really good shape, which scares me. Because I think he works too hard to this day.
Yeah.
He's 50 years old now.
Yeah. Stinger.
Undertaker.
Taker. Oh my god.
Taker's gonna break down like you've never seen a human being break down.
And I think honestly that's probably why he keeps coming back. Because as soon as he settles down, like all that stuff's gonna come back.
I'm scared for him.
I am so scared for him.
He's
Kane.
50 Taker.
Yeah. Kane.
He seems to just never stop chugging. That guy's got a body.
It doesn't matter, man.
Oh,
like
eventually it'll catch up to him. He's okay right now, though. Yeah, the guys that gave years and years and years. Taker, makeup can only do so much.
The only guy that like I look at and like I'm like, well, you know, maybe he can actually stick around for even longer is like Shawn. Just because you look at him now, like, it doesn't seem like he's in that bad of a shape or anything. Like,
and he's not a guy that's going to be out there pumping weights every day. He's out relaxing, you know, living his life.
Yeah.
And he had his injury scare, and he got past it.
Ric Flair, god damn it.
Yeah, dude, Rick may be on his last leg.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he made it another 2 years.
I would too. To be brutally honest, I would be too. And it's so sad, but
you just look at him and you go, oh my god, that body is in pain.
Yep.
Even if he can't feel it. Hulk, who knows?
Hulk,
he's had so many surgeries that he might last, but it's not going to be a fun ride.
No. Like, you just look at him walking, dude, like, oh man.
I remember watching Hogan Knows Best and seeing his spine. And it's like somebody who has scoliosis, but who obviously doesn't. It was just like a huge circle.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. And that's the guy that didn't take many bumps in his career.
Scott Hall.
Oh. Yeah.
Dude.
Brett.
Oh, fuck.
Dude,
that's going to be the day that I actually really cry for the first time since, like, Eddie or Benoit.
Brett's taken a lot of punishment in his life.
Brett goes like
Jake the Snake's probably got another month.
Yeah, dude, it's That's terrible.
It's sad.
It is.
Booker T will still be here.
Fuck
JBL
yeah.
will still be here. JBL just
Yeah.
delivered. JBL took more blades than anything else.
Yeah.
Ray
Man.
should be alright because his mostly legs with him might be debilitated, but I think he'll be around.
Man, I'd love more than anything to meet Ray.
Yeah, I know. He'd be so cool.
Like that's gotta be a thing, dude. All right, we gotta go to a big like wrestling event at some point, and like meet all these guys.
I just wish I could hang out with him. You know? It'd be
Yeah,
cool to meet him.
It'd be cool to meet him, but like just to hang out. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be great.
I forgot a big one. Mick.
Fuck. Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
I don't know though. It's just like, dude, he's so impervious.
It's like he probably should have gone already.
He probably, yeah. He should have died at King of the Ring when Jim Ross said he did. But
JR still plugging on.
dude, that's
the
another
King.
one. Dude, both
Jerry.
of those guys. Both of those guys. Like, that's my childhood right there.
Yeah, Cole's gonna survive till age 1,000.
Unfortunately.
He's robot.
Cole, like, he just needs. I don't know. I'd like to see the Michael Cole backstage again. That would be cool.
Doing what?
Like the interview segment stuff that he used to do back in the day. Like, that'd be cool. I don't like Michael Cole in the commentary though.
It's not fun.
It's terrible.
You get why they like him though. He's the John Cena of the announce table.
He is.
He'll show up. He'll not say the wrong thing, and he's an eternal goober.
Yeah.
You're a goofy goober, yeah. We are goofy goobers, yeah.
So, ROH in Chicago.
Chicago.
September 12th. Is that a Friday, by the way?
What is it? September 12th?
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
August. September 12th. Saturday.
The Saturday? Cool. So, I mean, what do you think? Friday, Saturday? Or Saturday, Sunday?
Because Anthony said we can stay at his parents' place, right?
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday would probably be pretty cool. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah,
we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. And this is the beauty of doing this. We get so caught up in like conversation that like we forget. But we'll definitely be recording that for you. The trip up there, everything we're doing.
Yes, sir. This weekend. That's so bad. I can't do a Dusty Rhodes. It's like everybody in the world can do a Dusty Rhodes, but I can't do it.
I don't think I can.
I'm usually decent at impressions.
I'm really good at them, and I can't do it, Dusty.
Dusty.
Hard times upon us, brother.
That's not bad. Let me see if I can just get a quick quote, and then I can read it off here.
There you go.
We'll see who has the better one.
And for everybody watching, I guess, tell us
Who won?
who won the Dusty Rhodes impersonation.
Okay. I'll do the famous one. I don't know how I'm going to do this, dude. I suck at this. The man of the hour. The man with the power. I am the hit maker, the record breaker. Oh, shit. Not loading.
Oh, the page, I saw that, dude. Why did it go
died.
up? It just went up, like, so quick.
There we go. Alright, let me go to photos and just screenshot that. Alright. The man of the hour, the man with the power. I am the hit maker, the record breaker. I got style and grace, a pretty face. I'll make your back crack, your liver quiver. If you ain't into this match, you're at the wrong address. Superstar, when the other wrestlers are smiling and joking, the dream be woo, cooking and smoking.
That's great.
You're up.
Alright. I have wined and dined with kings and queens. I have slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans, baby.
Alright. We had too much fun. We'll
Too
see
much
y'all
fun.
soon. Tell us who wins. Thank you.
Yep.